All right, the third option here for solving the system of equations is substitution. It's just what it sounds like. Substituting means putting somebody in for something else or somebody in the game for someone else. So we're going to get one of the two variables by itself. It's probably going to be your favorite one. A lot of people prefer elimination, but I'm a big substitution guy. It's pretty easy. Uh, going to use your algebra skills here to get x or y by itself, and then we're going to plug some stuff back in, aka substitute it back in. So, for example, a y is worth 2x's, and then in our other one we have y plus 3x equals 25. Okay, so this one's set up really nice and neat. Okay, so the biggest thing we got right here, hey, look, 1y, what is 1y worth? It is worth 2x's, right? I know that doesn't, you don't like that because there's variables everywhere, but hey, y is worth 2x's. So what we can do is say, okay, instead of using y down here, what's the value I could plug in for y? Well, you could plug in 2x's, right? That's substituting. So we're going to substitute 2x in place of y in this system. So rewriting this equation right here, but we're not going to say y. We're going to say, hey, okay, 2x plus 3x equals 25. And again, we're allowed to do that because right up here it said, hey, 1y is worth 2x's. So instead of saying y, it's very easy for me to say, hey, it's worth 2x's. So really quick and easy problem right here. Hey, what are 2x's plus 3x's? Hey, 5x's equals 25. Use your math skills here. We're going to divide both sides by 5. Hey, x is worth 5. So if we take a look at our little ordered pair setup over here, we know half of it, right? And it didn't take a whole lot of work. X is worth 5, no big deal. So now I'm going to keep doing what we've done before. Hey, if 1x is worth 5, why don't I come right up here and say, okay, I don't need x. I know what x is worth. It's worth 5. So instead of saying y equals 2x's, we're going to say y is equal to 2 times x's value. But hey, x is worth what? 5. Y equals 10. 2 times 5, right? No big deal. One solution again. Not a big deal. So let's take a look at another one. Okay, so a, it's okay, we don't need x, y is equal to negative b, and 4b is equal to negative a minus, what? Oop, oop, minus a, sorry, equals negative 25. Now, right up here, we can go either way with this. We can say, hey, a is worth this, or negative b is worth a. So I would stick with using this guy because he's positive just to make it easier on myself. But okay, so if a is worth negative b, I can come down here and plug that in. So let's do that. 4b minus, not a, what we're going to use in place of a, negative b equals negative 25. Okay, no big deal. This right here should be throwing off alarm bells. It's really the same thing as 4b plus b. Those two guys add together to make 5b. Now what? Algebra skills say do the opposite and divide by 5. Hey, b is worth negative 5. Okay, so I'm going to set up my little ordered pair here. B's worth what? Negative 5. Okay, let's come back to the original here. So if I know what b is actually worth, I can substitute this back in place of b somewhere else. Doesn't matter where, let's make it here. 4 times b minus a equals negative 25. And in place of b, we're going to use, what, negative 5. Okay. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Minus a equals negative 25. We're going to add 20 to get it out of the way and away from a. A is still negative though. Negative a equals negative 5. Last thing right here is we don't want to know what negative a is worth. We want to know what positive a is worth. So it's really negative 1 times a. So instead of timesing, we're going to divide by negative 1. It really just changes the sign. There we go. We have one more solution. Dadgummit. Sorry about that. Take a look at the work. I'm using free software here, so Sometimes you get a little pop-up every once in a while. And yep. Okay, so take a look at our next problem here. Y plus 3x equals 13. And then 6y plus x equals -7. All right, so if we're taking a look at this, try to be strategic again. Over here I have y by itself. Over here I have x. When I say by itself, it's singular. It's 1, right? So which one would be easier to get by itself? Well, if we wanted to get, say, y by itself, we would just take 3x and scoot it over with subtraction. Or if we wanted to get x by itself, we could take 6y and scoot it over with subtraction. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to do the first one here. So instead of adding 3x, we're going to do the opposite and subtract 3x. If you do it to one side, you must do it to both. 13 minus 3x. Okay, you're like, well, that's not great. It's not what I wanted, but hey, what is 1y worth? It is worth all of this stuff. We're going to use that to go ahead and plug in to my other equation. So we're going to come over here and we're going to replace this y with all that stuff. So let's do that. So 6 times not y, but all this stuff here. 13 minus 3x plus x equals -7. Okay, so it's getting a little bit big here, but the distributive property says 6 times 13 is what, 78? Yeah. And 6 times -3x would be what, -18x's plus x. I got a little bit of like terms here. We're going to take these two guys, put them together and make -17x's. Also want to get rid of this 78, so I'm going to subtract 78. So -78 -7 minus 78 more, so it's at -84. And I'm going to cheat. What is that? 85. What? -85. Sorry. Duh. -85. Okay, so when I divide this by -17, we're gonna get 5, I believe. Yep, okay, so 5. Whatever. X is worth 5. Boom. We're gonna take this, we're gonna plug it back in place of X, and we're gonna do so, I don't care, here, wherever, it's all the same equation. Let's just go back to the start, just to make it easy on ourselves, not confuse ourselves here. So replace x with 5. Y plus 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is what, 15? Solve for y. We're going to subtract 15. Y is worth -2. So here's where our two lines are going to cross. All right, I will be sending your homework to you.